This is a little review of the new book by YUVAL Harari called NEXUS. This is actually pretty new. In fact, it's only a few weeks old, so I've got to say, alright, this is interesting, but what's this pigeon doing here in this book? Well, later we'll find out this pigeon is actually that famous World War II pigeon that apparently saved the Americans. I think that's why I'm wearing sunglasses right now. You're going to have to find the name of the pigeon yourself. Back to the topic. So, YUVAL Harari went ahead and wrote this book, NEXUS, mainly because he himself actually was worried about AI. So, I'm just going to go ahead and try to summarize the entire book as well as try to make a review of it from the Stone Age all the way to AI in about 5 minutes. With drawing, so this will probably take 10 minutes in my perspective to make. Let's get this started with. So, here we go. Firstly, it's the Stone Age. So the Stone Age basically goes ahead, and of course people only had stones. And how do you go ahead and make information, share information when paper didn't exist yet? Answer: you make cave drawings. And now humans have figured out how to make farms. Just put stone and stick here. Boom, now you got a hoe. Boom, you just unlocked agriculture. But that means a lot of numbers. Like, a lot. So we humans made paper, and we realized we made enough to actually overfeed the entire world. And so the caste system was built. King at the top, peasants at the bottom. Merchants just a bit above, noblemen, knights, and aristocrats at the top. And with that, information networks needed to go ahead and be created, and so we made networks, where literally people will be nexus points in between. What the heck does that mean? Monkey writes some numbers. 3 more monkeys write equally important numbers for the same person those numbers are being written to. Let's say the person has to receive them is the emperor, but the emperor does not have time to collect them. That's why they send the information to a nexus point. In this case, technically his secretary. And he sends the important information to the king. So who holds the power here? Well, obviously, you'd say obviously, it's the king. But actually, the actual king here is the nexus point. Because they control what information gets censored. And what information is sent to the king. And so the king only receives a handful of them. Obviously, this section over here will probably get the most easily corrupted. As well as the fact that I also made it that the king's highest possibility of death was being assassinated by a right man guy. So, repeat. I kill you. I'm the new king. Now my secretary kills me. He's the new king. And then his secretary. And then his secretary. And then his secretary. Yeah, I think you guys see the pattern here. The good thing was, the nexus points were actually humans. The problem with nowadays is, this nexus point is a computer. The receiver might still be a person. Or a computer. And some of the writers might also be computers. Heck, all of the writers could be computers. Everyone, including the nexus point, is literally a computer. And that didn't happen until very, very recently. Until recently, someone had to work at the computer for the computer to send it to another computer, and that computer also needed to be worked by a human for it to be sent to another computer. There was always some human involved. But now, a virtual human, or in this case an AI, artificial intelligence, can actually become the person and become the artificial person who works at the computer. Yet people thought that AI could never beat anyone in humans, especially not in this ancient Chinese game named Go. And then an AI actually did it, using a completely new, never ever thought of strategy. And we saw the rise of chatbots like ChatGPT and Lambda. And you might be thinking, oh wait, this is great. Now that there's no human biases and psychological issues involved, now that an artificial intelligence can go ahead, which does not have the limitations of biases that we humans do, they can go ahead and make unbiased decisions, right? Well, depends on the information that they get. Microsoft launched an AI once, and within minutes, when it started, they gave it full access to the social media network Twitter, as well as Facebook. And because, well, a lot of the content that it saw, or at least picked, were actually about racial things and racism, it started actually making racial posts. Like, I'm not joking here. This is basically what the AI posted, and I'm quoting here. Within 16 hours of the launch of the AI by Microsoft realized what has just happened, and they sent the lightning bolt of death to go ahead and shut it down. And this all happened within 16 hours. And then algorithms themselves, this book also talks heavily about algorithms. Algorithms themselves are actually pretty important, as well as the fact that there's a lot we can go ahead and talk about. Algorithms are here to go ahead and make decisions for us, but then some of these algorithms are actually biased and can be exploited by bots. You know what reCAPTCHA is? Well, reCAPTCHA is supposed to go ahead and prevent bots from sites. And, well, instead of that happening, we basically get people who go ahead and do things. We got some company that tests AI's intelligence went ahead and got ChatGPT to at least try to solve reCAPTCHA. It failed, but it could manipulate a human to go ahead and do it. In fact, it went on the website Task Force, and then the ChatGPT independently did all this. It contacted a human, asked it to do some reCAPTCHA for it, and the human was all like, "Okay, so are you a robot? Because humans can do this pretty easily." And the AI said, "No, I have bad eyes. Could you please help me?" And he's like, "Okay, I'll help you." And then ChatGPT accessed the website. That was terrifying. And all these algorithms can actually become very false as well too. An algorithm is important as long as it's also able to fix the errors. When they find an error, and the algorithm is also built in to fix that error, and also not hide the error and think that, oh wait, that's not an error. They try to fix it. In fact, that's why the Royal Academy of Science was actually able to still survive, and because of those error fixings. Unlike the Catholic Church and in fact almost all religious institutions, who never actually tried to go ahead and ever check themselves and try to fix themselves. Instead of all that, well, the Catholic Church went ahead and decided, hey, I don't care if this is false. Lots of people say this is false. It's true. And if you say it's false, well then you are a sinner and you will go to hell according to God. Not a lot of people believe that anymore, but I think that still spooked a lot of people out. And now with that all gone, you can go ahead and still talk about things as well too. NEXUS is a book that goes ahead and tells us about the links between people and the people who are supposed to have power. These Nexus points are actually the most important. They're the kings of the whole operation, mainly because, well, information, data, all that is worth more than oil now. So I'm guessing that whoever controls the data, whoever controls the information, will become the powerhouses. Without this person, well, we're basically left without someone to go ahead and connect the information. So why should you read Nexus? Well, if you were born in 2012, or like me, you were born in 2011, or born sometime in the 2000s or 2010, this book will be awesome for you because you grew up in an information age. You grew up in a days when the computer was being created. As for the ones who were born after 2010, like me, I was born in 2011, this will be important because you will be living literally in the age of AI, and for all those iPad kids out there, you will actually go ahead and learn how to make an AI. Disclaimer to parents, that claim was untrue. You don't learn how to make AI in the book. Well, that was a very bad advertising, but then again, I really think you should read NEXUS, because then you'll also learn how information spreads, and at least if you make an understanding of it, at least you understand how it works, you have a way better time and a way better chance at actually going ahead and learning something, as well as probably having a higher chance of changing the world. And with that said, go read Yuval Harari's NEXUS. Learn about it, talk about it, go geeky about it, and so until next time, Shnana, peace. Bye-bye. Da 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 da.